NCRP Productions presents Fantasy Flight's Star Wars RPG, Season 2, Episode 2.
Hello, and welcome to the table in a galaxy far, far away. I'll be your host tonight, DM David, and we are going to be playing Star Wars Fantasy Flight games, Age of Rebellion, Edge of Empire, and Force and Destiny as one complete game. Let's meet our players, starting from our left.
Hello everybody, this is Josh. I will be playing Locke, the Zabrak bounty hunter gadgeteer.
Hey, it's Barry. I am running Grist, the Shadow Sentinel Squib.
This is Ty playing Victus, the Twi'lek mystic Makashi Duelist.
This is Jessica. I'll be playing Jimothy, the Jawa Demolitionist.
Love it. So as we start every game session, let's roll those D12. That is the white force dice, and tell me, what did we get starting from our left again?
One black.
One white.
One black.
2 white.
No, the force could have been in balance.
Thank God. Well, no, it's going to be worse. So we've got 3 white and 1 black, or 2 black to start. However,
some of our people have had morality changes and drifts. Do we have any dark side member?
Apparently, at some point, I don't know when.
apparently.
I don't know when, but Victus has, according to other people that aren't myself, have drifted a little bit too dark, and I am now considered a dark side user. Consequence of which is we flip one of those lovely white side to a dark side.
Is this change at all visibly apparent to others? Is there a paling of the skin or like a...
No, so interesting enough, you should bring that up. We'll get to it in game, but we'll tell you now because you asked it. More of my body is covered in bandages now. So you see the bandages are going around my neck, and also if you see me without a shirt on, around part of my upper torso. So,
are they magically growing?
No.
You're wrapping.
I'm wrapping it.
Grist, it's not magic, it's the force.
Right.
They're forceful.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I grow bandages.
All right,
I'm a walking med kit.
Because I would get suspicious of him, like, he hasn't come to me for bandages.
No, yeah, exactly. No, I excrete my own like a spider.
Right. Webbing.
Yes,
guys, it's another canonical thing that
Twi'lek can do.
Twi'leks have, besides brain tendrils.
No. So I've applied these bandages, and I have applied them to further extents my body than just my left arm.
I love it.
So,
go ahead, Grist. What's up?
well, so
What do you want?
Well, so I'm thinking like for Grist, he's seen people with just straight skin get tattoos and stuff, and then do that. And I'm sure, sadly, by now he's seen cutters and the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But we don't see, we're not seeing anything other than today you ask for a set of bandages and you come out and now your neck's wrapped or something, right?
At the bottom of my neck. You could see it coming up through the collar of my shirt.
Okay. But again, you haven't disappeared I'll be back in 5 hours, guys. And then you come back and suddenly you're bandaging shit. There's no reason that we see.
No,
you just have more bandages.
Exactly. Yeah. Slowly over the course of days, I've applied a little bit more bandages. And I've acquired them from here at the Black Sun facility from the medical bay, and we're not together all the time. So
again, it's not weird that you have bandages. I'm not stealing all the bandages.
Right.
But what
I'm
I'm
a hoarder.
looking at is there's no and I don't know that Grist would notice it, but there's no noticeable thing like you didn't disappear for 5 hours and then when you come back
I'm all beat up like I'm in a secret fight club
or as I said, or tattooing or cutting or
hey man, first rule, right?
Selling your parts for money, or the Squibs would understand that.
Maybe you should talk to your friend about a possible problem, guys. Hey, little did you know this is a talk about awareness about friendship.
Well,
is
it's or bandage usage, bandage overusage. This is a intervention.
It's a vicious cycle of bandage usage.
You know what it is?
It's all downhill from here.
Have you ever heard of a Bacta tank?
You know what it is? It's the Japanese word Yurichinubi or whatever, Chinobi.
Oh yeah,
You think you don't actually have superpowers. You're just I'm so dark and broody.
Yeah,
Chunigo.
in the Psyche K show.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Oh god. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so you start with 2 light side and 3 dark.
Yes.
As someone amongst your team is performing good works.
I didn't kill the Gungan, man. Gravity did.
Yeah. Nor did that man You didn't crush that man's throat.
I
Gravity
did that. I will admit, I did do that.
guys, I made that.
That wasn't
I
what
made
pushed
this.
you over the edge, right?
Exactly.
That's essentially what earned you so many dark side points. No amount of light side could save you. That's the terrible thing. If you weren't rolling light sides, this would progress way faster.
Now, is there a point when he just becomes an NPC?
No.
Right.
Essentially, the beautiful part is that like you drop to negative 100.
Or no,
You
zero.
can go
Or
negative, or you 0 is 0?
0.
Okay,
Yeah.
0 is 0. All right.
So if you go down enough, essentially, yeah, you just become very powerful. He gains more wounds, less strain. That's it. He just gets to play a dark-sided character. So that's the fun of this game is you can play Sith. You can have a Sith campaign. You can have Fallen Jedi, Grey Jedi. Like, it's a very reasonable thing to get to play. Or you can have time, maybe he wants to try the Hourglass. Go dark and then turn light.
Right.
Hey man,
Like, wow, you get the Admiral hat, and then you have to work your way back up to become friendly with all the Booty Bay guys.
Guys, I just really want the red lightsaber and the Darth armor.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I want the Jedi robes, but I want the mouth breather.
Guys, you don't understand. I'm doing this because I want the evil ending. That's
Yeah.
why. I've already done this once, and I know what the good ending is. Little did you know, you're all NPCs in my game.
So now, are you outwardly any other way showing it? Like, are you
Nope.
being more of a jackass,
Nope.
or like Sentinel food's gone,
well, that is a really good question. So I don't have it written here, but I know it from my character creation. Part of this is I have to pick an emotional weakness, and the emotional weakness for my character is taciturn. So yeah, you perhaps I'm not as talkative.
you
as
basically
before.
become a 12-year-old boy,
I don't want to talk.
right?
It's
Or
not
are you just like fine?
Barry. It's not a phase. I'm a Sith Lord.
I don't understand. I'm a Sith acolyte. I'm going to be a
God.
Sith Lord one day.
I could force move a Rancor, bro.
Leku flip.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Leku flip. I've got like spiked.
Yeah.
What is that hairdo?
Wear
You
one
don't
like-
get it. All the cool Twi'leks are doing it.
All right.
All right. Excellent question, guys. Thank you so much. So when we last left our team, our team, because you were a crew, you've now joined the Black Suns and have become a team under Commander Talon. You guys have recently been acquainted with your new compatriot due to Six's mysterious disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
The Jawa Jimothy has been helping you guys your time around the asteroid, the XR-71, getting you familiar, getting you to meet some of the crew, just kind of getting used to like how things work around the station and what to expect as now you're part of a large criminal syndicate.
Showing us how to waste 3 weeks on shore leave.
Yeah, through excessive explosive of droids. Guys, they give you free bombs. Like,
You
can
want to
just-
use that.
They don't want you to know this, but you can take these bombs. I have 638 at home.
yeah, you just do things. The only time you gotta stop is apparently when like the droid mechanic tells you to stop. So you guys had some fun adventures, bonded, and learned some new skills and grew as characters. So as we begin this episode with that wonderful call music, dun, dun, sentience come and go. Trust can be earned. Friendship grows, and reputations endure. With finally allegiances being bought. Ideals show the depth of a character. How one represents themselves can set the tone for how the whole galaxy sees them. An individual's past sets the foundation of their character. Some ignore it, others are crushed by it, and few are forged by it. Can a sentient put aside who they are, or will they be crushed under the weight of others' expectations? As powers begin to stir from the shadows and conflict begins to boil, what truths will be revealed, and what allegiances will remain?
So obviously it's the Victus arc.
Whoa, I don't know. How could you foreshadow such things, gentlemen? How could you see? So, as we last saw our team, they are no longer allowed to rest on their ill-gotten laurels. A common idiom among the Black Suns states that only those who prove their worth prove worthy of family. Expectations for the team is high. Only they can tell if they will rise to the occasion or fall into memory. As we enter into the XR-71 station, Commander Talon has gathered her team to the Operations Center to discuss their first mission.
Now I have here, we are assigned to Dr. Amina. What was that?
That was the person looking after you while you guys were at the visitors center, the guest quarters.
Okay.
Commander Talon as your team leader. Dr. Amani is the doctor of the station in the med bay. You would have seen her. She
The
is
Zabrak.
Yeah.
Now, is she the one from the interrogation center also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, that is the
All
same
right.
woman.
And she's a Zabrak.
Yep.
But not a Dathomiri.
Right.
No,
she's
she is.
an Iridonian.
Yeah, she's an Iridonian, not a Thorian.
Right.
Thorian Zabrak. Guys. So as you're sitting in that command center, the sounds of computer consoles beeping away, people kind of chatting in the back, that all grows kind of dim and dull as you are all gathered around the holo table with the commander at the head. Nothing has popped up on the screen, but just that blue kind of glow sits over it.
Is the commander looking at us?
Yes, she's staring at you as you're all kind of positioned around her.
Have we been given clothing that with the Black Sun iconography on it? Are we still in our own?
He has.
I'm aware he has.
Someone was bought by being given their cool riot gear.
No, I'm aware of that, but I meant, is Black Sun a very uniform organization? Like, are all of our outfits representing that iconography?
For initiates, roughly where you are, no. You guys still haven't. You guys have proven.
So I'm still in my
interest.
robes, is what I'm saying.
What they have essentially done, though, is when you've had to change out of clothes, they have given you either a patch to wear or something to indicate.
Yeah, remember when I went down to the to the armory? I went down in the towel and robe. Both those had the Black Sun emblems on them.
If you also ever go check up on your starship that you gained as part of your reward, it has that beautiful imprint on top of it.
The Kalkori.
Yes.
Commander Talon is sitting there with her black armor and the silver plasteel parts.
So obviously she got something.
She has earned her rank. Listen up. We were personally given an important mission from the Vigo, and I, for one, do not plan to disappoint. The Vigo has a great interest in acquiring a JL-12F explosive. We know it is incredibly dangerous, but it can be safely and easily transported. Little is known about the JL-12F, but the Dark Void has indicated we may find some on planet Vindaxa. It is a lush world covered in forest and plains. The primary inhabitants are the Aklay. It is reported that a First Order outpost was positioned there. Find the outpost and find the JL-12F.
So, who's this Dark Void?
Are you asking as a person or as
a player?
As a player?
No, sorry, as my character, as Victus. Victus is mine. You just rattled off a bunch of information.
Totally.
Victus would ask, what's Dark Void?
The Dark Void is the Black Sun Information Syndicate. It's our network.
Okay.
Wait, so those are the guys that gave us the information?
Yes.
What's JL-12F?
The JL-12F is an explosive ordinance. I myself am not familiar with it. As she turns her head to look over at Jimothy.
Yeah, I'm looking at Jimothy too.
Would you like to roll to see what you know about a JL-12?
I definitely would. What would I be rolling?
Your explosive uses heavy ranged or light ranged?
It can be both.
I would accept light ranged or warfare intelligence.
Okay.
You may have heard about it as an explosive.
You get to pick between light and heavy when throwing a grenade? Or is it just depending on the grenade?
Oh, there are grenade launchers, which are heavy.
Right.
And then there's the actual grenade, which is light.
So to give you a heads up, this will be apart from your dice.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to add.
No worries. You are going to add 4 purple, which 4 challenge dice, or sorry, difficulty dice, and then you get to add, because of your interest in your art of explosives, I will allow a blue boost dice to be added, which is that D6 blue dice.
Nice.
This would be a demolitions roll?
Yes, because there's not just a demolition skill.
So what roll would it be?
Ranged light.
So she can use a range light because it falls under as like a weapon skill for just, hey, how do people know about a
Grist
weapon?
roll as well? So
yes.
The reason thinking it is, again, Grist has kind of been a sponge picking up whatever he can wherever he's been.
Totally. Have you been a lot in the Outer Rim, Core Worlds, or anything like familiar with the Underworld?
I don't envision he's been in the Core Worlds. I envision he's almost, because we're in the Outer Rim now. I would envision he's been in the Outer Rim.
Then I would understand also if you wanted to roll an Outer Rim roll, because maybe you have dark connections who would have talked to like black market deals, who might know that information.
Okay. So I have 4 purple in my skill.
I got 1 success, 2 advantage.
Ooh, okay. So, Jimothy, you would know that the JL-12F was manufactured by La'at Armament for Imperial use only. It contains a chemically advanced material that can serve multiple purposes, from energy dissipation and absorption to high-yield explosives. You also know, because of your 2 advantages, it was used to research blaster bolt absorption armor. You remember there were other things about it, but that's as much as you can pull for now.
And were these primarily used against, say, a single small humanoid target, or are we talking spaceship-sized?
What you would know from this is it never saw field testing. But you've heard rumors about it, and people have talked about that it is a concern, and they were glad it didn't make field testing.
So how big is it?
Right, that's my question.
Beautiful question.
Well, let me tell you what I have before you answer that.
Answer.
I have 2 successes and 4 threats.
Ooh, okay.
And I took the strain for the threats.
Excellent. Thank you for reminding us that you guys do, for threats, you will get.
So I'm
strength.
assuming I'm assuming that looks like Grist realized what the stuff is, and he's not feeling good about it. It's like,
Yeah.
I've heard bad things.
So essentially, as Jimothy, I imagine, is explaining this to everyone, if you want to role play that, you can go right ahead.
Okay.
Your fur stands up. That
Yeah, my
feeling
ears
of
start
like,
going down as you're reading. It's like, I've heard of that.
and you remember, and the main reason why is because a phrase enters your mind. You remember hearing it. It is called a planet-side demolition.
So, if I remember this stuff right, Commander Talon, this thing can, used correctly, this thing can destroy whole areas on a planet.
As you describe that, your commander, who is the Torgruta, the same as like Ahsoka's species, her red face, doesn't seem to give any sign of like concern.
Poker face.
Yeah, she has that very clear poker face, but she turns from Jimothy to you.
But she
guys
can
are
see
sharing.
my hair is
Your
up,
worries,
my ears
yeah.
are down. I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah, so you described, you're like, hey man, this thing rearranges planets. She just kind of looks at you. Well, that's not our concern. The concern is the Vigo wants it, and the Vigo gets what the Vigo wants.
So wait. We're getting it, and then we're field testing it?
You are to retrieve the device, return it to this station.
Just getting one.
If you can find more, you can please the Vigo. But he has requested one, and he will get one.
Okay. And we're not field testing it.
That was not the order given.
Jimothy starts shifting from foot to foot.
You see her like
Left
quick
foot, right
glance
foot,
over
left
you,
foot, right foot.
and you can see her like she like taps her right leg with her right hand, real switchily. It's essentially like you would know this is how she like hey focus up, like this is how she keeps people in line. You've seen her like at tables when people start to like get out of line. She's letting people know, hey, don't push your luck.
Now, with 2 successes, do I have an idea how big this thing is, either by rumor or otherwise?
With your both combined information with Jimothy and yourself, both would know that a device like this is actually not large, which is where it's so concerning. Essentially, you're looking at something that is just a basic proton torpedo, which is essentially, don't even think like regular missiles like for our own aircraft. You're talking about something that's the size of essentially a small trash canister getting thrown around.
So, Commander Talon, do you know anything about this device? And I'm reading her. I want to see, now that we've kind of said some stuff, I want to see if she's giving off like, yeah, I know what it is, shut up.
Okay, so you're trying to understand if she's like lying, or like you're trying to get a feel.
Withholding. I'm
Understood.
sure she's lying. I'm not worried about that. But withholding is what I'm concerned about. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to send these morons out to go do the death job, you know? It throws off so much radiation, they'll all lose arms, but who cares?
Yeah. You can give me I think, yes, negotiation is where that would fall under. Against, she has a 3 difficulty, so 3 of the purple 8-sided dice.
And that's it?
Yep.
All right, so I have 1 success, 1 threat. So yeah, I can see. I'm not super comfortable what I see.
Well, essentially, it's just like it's trying to see into darkness, and you're like, can I see more? And you strain, and you can tell from what you're picking up from your success, she's not lying to you. She is just telling you what's been ordered.
So I don't think she knows what it is in the sense of, like, these morons are going to get a nuclear bomb, they're probably going to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
She knows from the way she talked to the Jimothy, the way that you've seen her act, she doesn't seem to ask a lot of questions. She just seems to be one of those soldier types who's like, hey, this is what happens, this is what you're going to do, and you need to figure it out. That's your job.
I remembered something. The last place that we worked, just bear with me. The last place that we worked, we got paid more for not asking questions. Do we get paid more?
You get paid more as a general rate for being with a better pedigree of syndicate.
I don't know what that means, but do we get paid more for not asking questions?
No.
Oh, good. All right. So another question. Would we be able to field test it if we got 2?
Great question.
As Jimothy's like, yes, I love my team.
So, real quick, are we like understanding Jimothy now, or is that what's happening? Like,
Yeah.
What I got was that when you get wound up, you hop into Jawa, but mostly you speak common.
It's more like
That's what I was wondering. Like, are you speaking Jawa, and we've spent enough time to
like
understand
the
that
Chewbacca thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, right. In Star Wars, it's a lot easier to understand languages. Yeah. After you spend some time with them and get an idea. I mean, but that was my question: was, are you speaking in common, or are you speaking in Jawa? And we're
Galactic Standard.
Yeah.
And
It's
how
basic.
long have we been here with
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
On shore leave.
Yep. Essentially, yeah.
Probably with you guys in the demolition bay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time.
So what are you guys going to do? Like, I'm probably going to go work on the ship, fix my guns. I'm going to go blow shit up.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, my agility went up, so I reckon that was spent from a lot of time in the firing range.
Your question again, I apologize.
Yeah. The question was, if we were to get a second one, would we be allowed to field test? Since obviously no one's field tested this thing.
She takes like a moment. You can see it's like processing. The Vigo only requested one. I'm sure a benefit...
So, just to be clear, if we were to get 2 or more, we would be allowed to do with as we wish with the others. I got big teeth.
I have not been directed otherwise.
Okay. The other thing that happened periodically with our previous employer is we were told that other things that happened to be there when we went by that might have gone with us were ours to keep.
You're asking if you can plunder during your mission?
Well, that's such a rude word, but yeah.
You see her like kind of like begin to raise her shoulders up as like a shrug, and then she stops herself. If they are not capable of defending themselves well enough to keep it, then it wasn't theirs to begin with, was it?
Wait. Is this a black op? I mean, are we just mowing them down?
You have been given the ability to solve problems as you see fit. Your directive is to gain the JL-12F and to return it to the Vigo.
So as she's saying that, I'm gonna be sidelong watching Victus. What does he do?
Victus is, I don't necessarily just look for slaughter.
I mean, I'm not staring at you. I'm just kind of, as she's telling us, you guys can do with as you will. I want to see what Victus is doing.
Victus, I mean, I'm going to kind of lean on the taciturn bit. Victus is not really emoting right now. He's
one
just
deadpan face look.
Yeah, well, this is a
Victus
mission.
smiling, Victus happy.
Right,
Victus
exactly.
sad.
It's the same face. Just one of those.
Right. Okay.
No. This is a mission. He's being told his mission. He will complete his mission, verbatim of what required.
Gotcha. Okay. That seems pretty straightforward to me.
She looks at each of you to make sure that there's no further questions.
And she looks at me a second time. I'm going to nod my head.
Lot's getting visibly annoyed that there's so many questions.
Understood. As you inquired about a payment, for successful completion, you will receive 30,000 credits.
Each?
No, as a team.
That's not quite as much.
Well, you are flying a ship that is assigned personally to you. That is a non-standard ship.
Just so you guys know, you heard that to me.
That means you must pay for its repairs, fueling, and armament cost.
Wait a minute. I remember how much that cost.
Do you remember what that cost? Because your last employer was pretty generous about paying those.
I remember the first time we had to pay for it, and then we cut a deal.
Yeah.
Which was funny because Six never thought the deal was that good.
Yeah. So, you guys were given a mission. There hasn't been a time frame assigned. It says go out and get this. Jimothy, you know enough from the Black Suns that you're like, yeah, if we don't complete this, we might as well just not return.
Okay, so I say we take a couple more weeks shore leave and then go. This shouldn't be that hard.
I don't think that a couple more weeks is an option. I believe this is an immediate.
I look back as I'm starting to walk. Look back at Commander Talon.
As you're asking, like, we can take some time. You can see her like sit there and she like taps the side of her right hand to her right thigh. I think this would be expedited.
Huh. Guys, I gotta run down to the masseuse and tell Celeste I'm not getting one today.
We'll see you at the ship.
Yep. And I'm gonna run out of there. I figure I'm at least early enough that I won't get charged and I won't get in trouble for not showing.
Gotcha.
If Celeste is there, I will apologize, and then I'm gonna race down to the ship.
She wouldn't be there. She's with another clientele.
Pop my head in
You're like, sup, as we're just...
Hey, Celeste, just wanted to say sorry. Woo, wow.
Wow, that's what you're paying for? Is that the premium package?
I never got that.
Yeah. I didn't know we could buy that. That's bulk. That's Bantha Poodoo. All right, so what do the rest of you do? How are you preparing for your mission? Remember, you are at your base. Your base allows you to ask for armaments, equipment. You pretty much get to ask for loadouts of how you want to head out.
So, like, what are the rules here on restricted equipment? Are they able to get things that we wouldn't find on the normal marketplace?
So, in general, yes. As of right now, this is, as Jimothy would know, this base hasn't been here for that long. Essentially, what they are getting filled with is standard equipment, standard supplies. What you can do is you can ask your weapons master, your quartermaster, for essentially like special armament request, and that looks like as you would have to buy. If you raise enough duty with the... Yeah, funny word.
He said duty.
He said duty. If you raise enough duty with the Black Sun, so if you were like, yeah, man, I want to be part of the team and I want to buy into it, you can raise it high enough to get them to pay for it for free. You earn enough, goodwill tokens to ask for things. That's the beauty of the duty.
And is duty obligation? Is
No.
that what you mean?
Obligation is its own thing. So duty is your personal career obligation to a thing you're working at.
Is that is in theory a box somewhere on a character sheet somewhere?
It falls under the morality, it falls under the obligation, and it falls under its own stance. Obligation is essentially what you owe something else. So again, always the easiest one to use is Anakin Skywalker. His duty was to the Jedi. His obligation was to Padme, and his morality was light side.
Until it wasn't.
Which is essentially what happened as his obligation took over more concern than his duty. So even though he is buying goodwill with the Jedi, which is why they send him on missions, which is why they keep giving him lightsabers even though he keeps losing or breaking them, that's him using duty. Obligation was him having this promise to Padme and wanting her to live until it became so much he literally had to betray his duty to meet that obligation. So, does that help?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
Grist is going to grab his bag and be on the ship.
Yep.
Yeah. So essentially, they wouldn't have restricted up to a certain level.
I will let the quartermaster know, I am on the market for a fire caller. This is a light flame projector. I won't let him. I won't exactly explain that I got an idea to extend the hard point on my Corellian wrist mount in order to mount this thing. But I will just let him know, I'm on the market for one of these. If you come across one, there's a way that you can snag it for me. There's an extra couple hundred credits in it for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
You were talking to the quartermaster. Remember from your last time is the Advo's quartermaster. He's that alien bug species with like the black eyes.
I mean, I figure I've been getting kind of cordial with him because I've been seeing him rather daily, most likely. So.
I've always forgot. Did you have a translator? Was a lot of it just you kind of knew? What was going on?
The storms.
Yeah.
I don't know that I purchased.
Guys, there's a solar storm happening.
I do like to think I like to think that Locke has an ear for things to a degree. Like he doesn't, he can't discuss philosophy with the guy, but he does kind of get like a general like okay or no thanks. But
arms and armaments is a language all of its own.
Yeah,
man knows how to talk blasters. What can I say? Yeah, as you kind of tell him, hey, we're looking out for it, he kind of responds in that, like, yeah, as he's just like...
Just throw some feelers out there. If you hear anything, let me know.
He's like,
I'll be back from my mission here.
I'll ask some of the other cells if they know if they got something like.
You said this guy was a bug guy, right?
The Advos, yeah, they have that like.
Is that feelers a slight on him there?
Does he take that?
I
mean, I didn't mean that literally.
Yeah. His feelers twitch.
He doesn't actually have feelers. Like it's funny because like he doesn't.
I didn't realize that.
Like the Advos don't actually look bug-like, just like the. What's the?
Feelers for this to work.
What's the one that sits with Palpatine? The blue. I forget their species.
With the horns coming out?
Yeah, like they look like Torgaruda, but they are not Torgaruda. Right. So like I just learned like that one. I'm like, yeah, like they're probably like some mammalian species. They're like, no, we're bugs. We pop from eggs and we're larvae. We literally look like giant caterpillars until we grow up and look bipedal. And I'm like, what? So there's a lot of species where, like same with like the Duros. You're like Duros are probably mammalian. They're like, no, we are like insects. We have like cool sacs of lungs that just contain oil, and we pretty much like secrete fart gas as we like get scared. And you're like, I didn't know so much about your species.
Stink bug species.
Yeah, essentially they're dung beetles. Yeah, so you should kind of just let him know. He'll let you know that he'll keep an eye out and he'll see what he can find.
I don't expect to hear anything anytime soon. Just putting the feelers out there.
You want that flamethrower?
So when Grist gets to the ship, I don't know who else is there, but whoever's not there as he's walking around the ship, he's going to use the comm link to try and connect. So who's not there?
Who would have gone immediately to it?
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. No, we all didn't.
Oh.
We had 3 weeks, I guess. Like, yes. I mean, I don't know if this conversation happened right after that,
I thought it just happened. I thought it was happening now on the way down.
I mean, it could have been something like, I feel like you would have been building up trust to ask him a question and be like, hey man, I just want to know, is it okay? Do you want to like go out on a date to find like a flamethrower?
All right, so then if everybody's there, I'm going to ask. All right, everybody has the comm links, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because that was a problem last time. Okay, other than that, you don't have to call me Captain Grist.
Don't worry, I won't be.
Thank you, Victus. Don't worry, it's not going to happen.
But, does anyone know where we're going? I mean, like, I know where we're going, but does anyone know where we're going? Like, I mean, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah, who? So we have a pilot. Who are the positions in your team for your ship?
Well, I have a bad feeling I'm the pilot and the astronaut.
We're not being sent with a pilot, just to clarify.
We are not.
Okay. Nope.
Did we get an astromech?
As an astrogator, I don't have any skill in it, but I do have intellect, so I could probably figure it out.
Can I do both from my seat?
You can at an increased difficulty.
Okay. All right.
I really like.
Well, in that case, then, I'm going to look over at the empty seat and go and just holler back. Hey, does anyone else want to sit in an astrogation? Because I mean, I can do it. I should focus more on not hitting astronauts.
So Locke just looks to the pilot seat and looks at Grist, and then looks at Victus, and looks back at the pilot seat.
Well, now I'm looking at Victus, and I'm looking at the astromech seat.
Victus looks at you in the captain seat and just sighs, and then leaves the cockpit.
Okay. All right. Well, least I can do is try to keep you from hitting the moon somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, no, I won't hit the moon. I don't want to blip in on a moon. I mean, I won't drive into... Moon's pretty big. I have to be a pretty bad pilot to hit a moon.
Your ship also has to be incredibly damaged to auto-fly hyperspace into a moon.
Jimothy, can you do it?
Not well.
Locke, would you consider yourself not well or better?
Just give me the damn coordinates.
I don't have them. That's why I was asking.
I'm sure they
So-
gave us the coordinates.
No.
I'm sure they gave us the general location.
Essentially what you do is you
like
like
we have
this-
to plot.
You
the course.
Google
Yes, you
map
have to
it.
plot
Yeah,
it. Right.
essentially, welcome to astrogation.
Right.
Is you got to like go onto a star,
what I'm-
like a
I'm-
star
yeah.
globe map, and be like, "What the hell am I looking for?" And then someone's like, "Yeah, it's generally in here," and you're like, "Now I have to plot a course through this."
Yeah, I've seen this done. I can probably.
I don't even know what the name of the
figure it out,
planet is.
It's
the
Vendoxia.
Vendaxa.
Vendaxa, Vendaxa.
So yeah, I'll sit in the co-pilot seat and.
But in all honesty, Grist was asleep during that
I
part.
do. What is?
If- Oh, go ahead.
What kind of ship did we?
It's a Corellian YT-2000.
Okay, that's right.
Yep, you got with a couple of modifications.
Codenamed the
to it.
Calcori.
So yeah, I'll
I
sit
got a
down in
picture of
the
it. I
co-pilot
do
seat
need to
and
make a copy of its layout map for you guys, so that way you can
Sure,
kind
no,
of
that sounds
play
good.
around with it.
I'll just kind of start getting familiar with the astrogation devices UI.
I'm going to be watching you because I'm not doing anything, so I'm going to stand up and watch you.
I imagine like there's probably like a standard general use of these things, and then they slightly differ from model to model. So I'm just
yeah.
gonna figure
Yeah,
out the quirks and see how it.
All
see
right,
how
give
it
me. Luckily, this is only a 2 difficulty astrogation, as it is a known
can,
planet.
this one.
Yes.
All right.
Yep,
Hope
that
we
is
don't
what
end
it
up
is.
in.
It's a YT-1000.
What?
That's an
No,
important
no.
distinction.
I have it down as a
Not-
2000.
Not quite that one. Yes, it's a slightly more advanced model.
There is no YT-2000 in this book.
Well, there is in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, there is one. It may not be in that book. Okay, so fun thing is what Victus is looking at is the starships and
Not
speeders,
those.
which,
Yeah.
just like the arms and armament,
No.
also does not
Not
contain
those.
all of the books. Oh wow, starships and
Jimothy?
Yes, Rati Grist.
Um,
It's like a swear word.
Oh,
But he,
that's
he
awesome.
thinks it's captain, though.
well, I would just say it, not bad. It's potentially.
What?
You got this, Lock?
I don't think you know that I don't got this yet.
No, I don't know, but I'm just watching you not get anything up yet.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
You said
all
the
right.
difficulty was a 2?
Difficulty is a 2.
We should just
not in this
assist
one
one another.
No, it's a wash. And I actually strained myself because I was thinking too hard.
Jimothy, can you try to give me a hand and help me figure this thing out?
So
You
do
you
any of you
do.
have any skill
we don't-
points
we
in
don't
Astro?
have-
So
we don't.
who has higher?
There's not
intel?
really an advantage
Yeah,
to
you-
assisting. It's
yeah.
only for.
You got destiny points to use.
Do you?
I'm
di-
not using a destiny
Yeah.
point to fly the damn ship.
To get the directions.
Did you find
make
the
Google Maps work.
YT-2000?
It's not in that one either, but I do know because I.
Because last time you showed a picture of that ship
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there, which
I
is the
do-
YT-1000.
Yeah, the one I have.
We could discuss it later too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not pertinent to this current conversation.
Yep. So, essentially, as you guys continue to like struggle for it, you get a call over the comms. Doo.
Now that's
Can you get
my,
that, Grist?
my.
That's your ship.
So I got this, and I hop into the seat and push. Captain Grist here.
You hear from like it sounds like there's some like other people talking in the background. This is flight deck to the. Sorry, what was your ship?
Calcori.
To the Calcori. Everything okay over there?
You got the Calcori? Yeah, no, we're fine. We're getting the coordinates set. Lock's working on it right now.
Understood.
Hey, you guys don't know how to get to the Vendaxa system, do you?
1 second as you hear the like comms go off.
I might have some help, you guys. Hold up.
Yeah. After a moment, you hear the toot back on.
Captain Grist here.
Flight deck. Yeah, we can upload if you're willing to let us transmit broadband waves. We'll transmit you the coordinates and flight path.
Yeah, hang on. What do I gotta roll?
So essentially, nothing you have to roll. You're essentially just being like, hey, we're going to take down our firewall so that way they can transmit coordinates on kind of how to
I
take.
push the button and on the screen the little dots all disappear.
Yeah, little Google Maps appears and is like, yeah, this is how you're going to get there. So planet Vendaxa is in the expansion region of the Zarakina sector, which is in the Vendaxa system. So essentially it's like like zooms in, shows you your kind of flight path. I don't actually have the galaxy map because I can show you how fun it is. But you guys are going to be taking a main flight path, essentially the hyperspace, the Permarillion hyperspace lane. It's the one of the main trading routes. You guys are taking essentially space I-5 as you're heading through. Essentially, as you look at the time frame, this thing's going to take you a couple of weeks to just get to this planet. Your ship has enough fuel. Your ship has about 3 weeks worth of fuel and about a month's worth of food supplies. So essentially you're taking 2 weeks to get to this. You are going to have to buy fuel somewhere along the way, guys, to come back. Or steal some from maybe this abandoned First Order outpost base.
So, thank you. You guys see it? Does that help?
Yeah, I got it. I was just about to find this place.
So now does he roll again?
No, it's not needed.
You're not needed. You pretty much...
All right.
You auto-success from this point. Your ship...
Now we just got to worry about getting back. It's the problem.
Well, it's not going to be that hard. I mean, we just put the 2 coordinates in the opposite direction.
I don't know if
just reverse coordinates.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's an easier difficulty because you still have to fly it, because as planets and solar bodies move, that changes a lot of the freeway, the hyperspace lanes, so that you have to be aware of.
I got this.
So yeah, as you guys go through your journey, is there anything you guys want to role play a little bit as your journey time, or do you just want to get over to this planet?
Well, I do want to say Locke's very unsettled by this whole situation. I feel like we're a little out of our element, taking the ship out without a pilot, without a experienced pilot. And
You could say it without a pilot.
So, I'm.
Do you guys ever say this crap in front of me?
I imagine is you're flying it, you're still holding it, even though you're in hyperspace,
right.
So you don't need to be touching.
No,
you're I feel it.
As far as if we say it in front of you, I think it's in those movies where the camera shows just Locke and I talking against a wall. You could say it, we don't have a pilot. And then it pans down and you're right below us.
Wait, guys.
I'm not, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I might, whisper it here and there, but, look obviously, notably.
So if I catch it,
yeah,
I'm going to take an insult at it, and I'm going to see if I can find either in the computer banks or on the ship, a flight manual.
How to fly for dummies.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going from 6 to Grist. That's a big
that's
difference.
Fair. Are you guys stealthily talking about this? Or
No, he's already said they're not.
No.
So
Victus has no shame.
And again, I've got experience points that I can spend, and one of the things I was going to buy was piloting level 1. So, I mean, it's giving me the excuse for doing that.
Essentially, yeah, you could totally, you're flying this ship now. There's simulations you can practice on. There's other pilots at the base.
If there are simulations that I can practice on, there's nobody in the bridge when I'm doing it. Someone comes in, I flip it to the porn channel.
Right, exactly. I wasn't studying.
I was doing adult things.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I imagine the door's always open. I imagine to the main.
I don't think there's a shut to it.
Yeah,
I think it's just an archway.
And essentially, you're just close the door,
one ear's always turned back, and
yeah, you can just run simulations. That's the beauty of a lot of the stuff they do with the ships as well, and some of the other shows is they're hey, we're just going to put you in offline mode, and essentially you just get to play the ship is doing it, so you can get the experience.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I will do, and again, I will work very hard to make sure no one sees me. In all seriousness, working on that.
Can you give me just as a floating stealth difficulty? So I just want you to roll. What is your stealth skill? The ship's fairly large. How many of you guys are going to probably try to go check out the
cockpit? Never.
I'm exploring.
Are you doing this in the cockpit? Or are you
Yeah.
This is where he has to practice it.
I mean, I'm probably if I see him looking at the flight manual, I'm probably
no. Again, I'm
what
not doing it. If
he's
you're
trying
there.
to hide.
Okay,
I need to set the difficulty based on how many of you walk up there.
Yes, I mean I'm watching him in the cockpit. I do want to make sure
all the time.
No,
okay.
I'm not.
That's what I'm
watching
saying.
him like a hawk. I'm just coming in and checking on.
Yeah.
Periodically, just to.
Have
make
we
sure
crashed
there's
yet?
no,
All right, good.
So essentially,
because you don't trust me.
I saw your repair job. Whenever you were the mechanic. So, and that's something you were good at.
If he flies as well as he repairs things, man,
we're fucking dead.
Got the job done.
So the beauty is that only one of your teammates, so it's 1 difficulty, but it is a black because he shows up sporadically.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I have. So one of my Give me a second here. One of my abilities.
I just love how much Locke is very, very much like, I don't know, man. I'm not in control, and I don't like this feeling.
No, I'm not decrypting communications. Darn it. I had a blue. I have some of my shadow stuff might have helped in this, but it didn't. Okay, so I have a triumph. I have a triumph and 3 successes.
Cool. So if you ever want to catch them, guys, you have to beat a 2 difficulty with 1
triumph,
1 challenge dice with 1 red dice. So apparently Grist is real good at hiding.
It's ego for me.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've been basically called on the carpet by 2 people that matter to me. They're part of my friends.
Yep.
You know, and
Yep.
I think that so far I have done everything correctly. Everything that I've done, I think, has been for the best. You know, I think my ideas have been good. Everything has succeeded. Nobody's lost an arm. I'm the only one who's had anything broken. My own nose. You know, so for Grist, it's important.
So vigilance or perception?
I'm thinking
It's
perception.
Well, it would be perception.
Because you're not
'Cause it's the
staying there.
passive.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
So it's 2 purple and
1
a
red.
red.
You also have 1 black dice because just as you show up sporadically, he might actually
red
legitimately
gets
not
on
be
blank.
doing it.
That's what I was wondering.
It was a blank.
Okay.
Would have been more fun the other way.
It would have been. So yeah.
You have one. You have 1 failure now.
1 failure and 1
No.
damage. Oh, those canceled out. Yeah. So 1 failure. Yeah.
Yep, you can't find him. Anytime you show up, Grist is pretty much just like
Just watching
plain.
porn.
What are you doing, Grist? You tell them what you would be doing if
I
you
would be looking like I'm piloting.
Yeah.
Like the more things that I read that I should be doing, I'm going to be doing those things.
Okay. So yeah, you just pretty much hear him making the plane noises, like stay on target, stay on target. Come on, guys.
I'm playing the 8-bit Star Wars game.
I just imagine he's like sitting there with the throttle, like punch it into overdrive. Excellent. All right, so your journey passes uneventfully. You guys have had enough rest that your strain and everything has healed. Your wounds have healed. Your pretty much only thing running low is boredom and just
That's running low. That's running high.
Sorry, running high is running high, and then running low is your tolerance for each other. As you're like, sentients were not meant to live on a ship this small, even though you're essentially like.
How long is this journey so far?
2 weeks.
2 weeks to get to this planet.
2 weeks.
Now, is the ship bigger than what we saw Mando's ship?
Yes, your ship is closer to a Millennium Falcon.
So there's a
It's actually
reasonable amount of space.
It's actually slightly bigger than Millennium.
So
Falcon.
we could each have our own space with a door or a wall between us.
Two understand. Let me pull up that fun layout.
I'm not that stressed. I'm just saying we can have distance, but we
have
do.
quarters, right? I mean, like we all have our own separate compartment.
Yeah, you essentially have 3 bed quarters as you make your way to the main dock. Your ship has that weird like
6. Is that the front?
Yes. So this is the front, and then you have 6.
Yeah, 6 individual chambers. We all have our own closet with a bed in it.
Yeah. You have plenty of space and storage, plenty of cargo bay space, a lot of things to work and play with. And right now, most of it is essentially empty. And then you get to fill it things. That's the fun, guys. You get to fill your mobile base with things.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
So I'll as we are getting close, I will let everyone know. Hey, Captain Grist here. We are coming into Vendaxa.
Who?
Vendaxa, the planet Vendaxa.
Who's talking?
You,
Grist.
Ratty Grist.
Is this thing not on?
Still didn't catch that. Hang on, I'll come up and talk.
As you guys are exiting
Is
hyperspace,
everybody coming and see my crash?
as you guys are like, look, if we die, we might as well be in the front row seats. We'll die on impact. God forbid we survive. Do you all join Grist, Captain Grist, at the?
Who?
Do you all join your pilot at the cockpit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll head up there.
You guys exit hyperspace. You see this beautiful marble of a place that's very lush, kind of green look with sporadic like blues on it. Don't think like Earth, like where it has big oceans. It essentially looks more green with a few small like places that you're like, hey, from this distance we can tell that this is a large lake that is essentially looks like an ocean.
Understood.
When you land on this planet, it has a very similar atmosphere to Earth, clear blue sky. You can see that essentially there's rolling plains and then places where there's dense forest. Not jungle, but just more like pine forest, things like that.
So before we land, were we told anything about where to go? Here's the planet, go.
The outpost. We know it's at the outpost.
You're told there was an outpost on this planet. Your ship does have scanners. You can try to figure out where this is. Because again,
I'm going to scan.
Oh, beautiful. So, give me... This would fall under a computers check with a difficulty 2.
And on approach, I'm definitely sitting in the co-pilot seat assisting.
Are you scanning from space, or you kind of bring yourself into atmosphere and scan?
We'll go into Atmo. No, you know what? We better do it from space to start with, unless there's the obvious fort here. You know? Unless there's like one hilltop that has the gleaming thing.
Nope.
So from
FYI,
space.
Jimothy's really good at computers.
Oh, nice.
Are you going to be like, I can do I can help you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
help.
you're flying. You don't have time to.
So wait a minute, I'm flying. Do you want to take over and I can help you?
Sure. What's
So
the
remind me
difficulty?
how I help Jimothy.
So, first off, Jimothy, you would leave the cockpit. The essential navigation, the scanners, is like one room back.
Okay.
So
Hey,
you're
where
kind
you
of
going?
like sitting behind like an open door. It'd be like the equivalent from us to the kitchen. As you kind of have a large, like think of those like intense gaming computers that have everyone's set up where it's the main screen and then 2 folded ones in. As you're just kind of inputting information and receiving tons.
Then I'm going to get up from because we're right now just flying, orbiting, so I'm going to get up and go in to help.
Well, you can help from where you're sitting.
Can I? Okay,
Yeah,
then I'll go
because
back
what
and sit
you're
down.
doing is you're relaying your coordinates to her is essentially what you're doing. So as you guys are assisting each other to make this computer check, whoever has the higher skill and whoever has the higher
There's really
characteristic.
no benefit in Grist assisting Jimothy.
So Jimothy,
Nope,
what is,
not with what I see.
so Jimothy, what is your
But Locke will also
skill
assist Jimothy.
in computers?
I have a rank 2 in computers.
Okay, and then what is your intelligence, your characteristic?
Also 2.
Also 2 and 2. Grist, what about you? What do you got? You got
1
2.
and 2.
So
One
I
and two.
can give
I don't
Jimothy
know.
a green die.
Yeah,
Three
So if Locke goes and helps, Locke will
Yeah.
give you a green die.
All right.
So Locke's gonna give you 1
Check
extra
that out,
green
Jim
die.
Jim.
That's amazing. Check that out, Jim Jim.
Oh, what's
Snap.
the difficulty?
Snack,
So
slap
this
into
is
the
a
Slim Jim.
2
I was thinking snap to it, Jim.
So if let me pause real fast. So if you aren't having to do both computers and flying, would you bring it in closer to the atmosphere, or would you?
No,
keep
I
it?
still think we'd start atmosphere. Sorry, we would
Just wanna
still
make
start
sure.
in space, and then I'd fly it down.
Just like idle around while we try to figure it out.
Yeah, orbiting.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh, you know what? I did not succeed because my success and failure canceled each other out, but I have 2 advantage.
Okay.
Anything?
Essentially, as you're kind of like sitting there reading, and you get called Jim Jim, which is a little distracting.
Buka.
You kind of like wait, and then you hear like twing, like a ping, as you kind of like recheck coordinates again. You do have a landing zone, or you do have a coordination for where there's a base that seems to be giving off energy. Something is putting out energy, so that indicates normally that, hey, with this signature, you know explosives. You're like, hey, there's a big enough generator to cause an explosion there. Something has to be, like, some type of life has to be there. That's
So if you can't
capable.
get anything from up here, should I bring it in close? I can fly into Atmo.
Okay, bring you down one.
Yeah,
You can,
Ibana. That's yes.
So you can do it, and you can add a blue dice, and then which is the boost dice, and you can reduce the difficulty dice to 1 as you are getting better coordinates, because you already have knowledge. You're just now fine tuning it.
Now things are starting to show up on the screen.
Yeah, I say so. I got 5 successes and 2 threats.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, essentially, as you like tune up your system, yeah, you get a clear
Figures out.
coordination.
Anything?
Northern,
Ibana.
yeah. Northern hemisphere. This one seems to be in a little bit of the forest. It seems that the forest maybe have grown around it from what you're picking up. There seems to be an energy reading that indicates that there's definitely a high-class generator going on, but you aren't picking up a shield generator. So this thing is unshielded. You don't need to worry about like crashing into like a force field. However, landing, you're going to have to put yourself at least about the nearest place you can land would be essentially 2 miles away, just because of the size of your ship and how you're going to try to crush the forest a little bit. You could land further out, which would give you
and
a
have
little
a full
bit more,
clearing.
and we'll have a full clearing, but it really depends on what you want. But you have multiple locations where you.
So wait a minute, we're not landing at the base.
Can we see out of the cockpit and see what the weather's like on the planet? Is it like a humid, is it a humid forest with like fog?
No, think of that. From what you can see, the sky seems to be clear. You don't see any storms. You're not picking up from your ship readings, Grist, that there's heavy turbulence or anything like that. Like I said, think more of like how the redwood curtain is. Not super tall, like high shack trees, nothing like that. But essentially what would be a large, uncut forest. This wouldn't be swampland. It wouldn't be foggy or misty or anything like that. You're entering in kind of closer to the noon time during its rotation, so this is actually any fog would have cleared. But due to the closeness to water, fog will probably be expected either at night or during early morning.
So hey, I'm going to ask again. Why don't we just land at the base?
Your ship appears too big to have landed at this base.
Okay.
Like it's
Anybody?
Rachi
Well-
Grist. Ship too big.
Oh,
And even if we were, this is what you think the First Order's just gonna let us in?
are they still there?
I mean, it's a First Order base. Who told us they are not?
I guess no one. Well, if 6 was here, we would land there. I'm just saying.
Well, 6 would also try to persuade them with pheromones. Do you have pheromones?
No.
technically everyone has.
Yeah.
He just can't
don't.
choose when he controls
I
them.
think it'd be best if we landed somewhere off-site.
All right, so pick a spot. Give me coordinates.
Send me
mean-
coordinates now. Ashuna!
Which one did
Where
Jimothy just send me?
Jimothy, where would you
The
like
clearing.
it? The clearing.
So
Okay.
farther out.
The open clearing or the forest clearing?
The open one.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. So she's
farther
gonna
out.
send you farther. All right,
Okay.
so this one's putting you about 5 miles out.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little bit of a trek. No stress. As you kind of come in, you can see through your kind of front glass as you are kind of bringing the ship into land that.
Do I need to roll anything?
No.
Okay.
It's again, this isn't like rocky or craggy. This is very much like calm. Think about that, like middle California, just rolling plains. You can see that there is a large body of water, a fairly big lake, but definitely nothing beyond the norm. You see a few species of local flora and fauna just kind of like grazing at the pool, like loth cats and stuff like that are running around. The trees stand fairly tall, but you can easily see the tops of them. It's about 12 o'clock. You can see that they're what looks like an overgrown, well, you would probably call it game trail for those who live on lower end planets, but something leads further in the direction of the base. When you came in seeing the base doesn't look, base is a strong word, it's more of an outpost. Essentially, it shared some commonalities with a Listinian outpost, so it had the big antenna pointed up, a central major tower, but everyone knows anything with the Empire or Empire wannabes, there's probably something built underground that may be more informative.
So on our flight over to the landing zone, I would ask up, probably Locke, any chance we could get sensors, see if the thing is active? I mean, can you read energy or anything like that?
We can take a look. So I mean, from 5 miles out, like, is it?
Well, I'm looking that I'm going to probably end up flying us over it or close to it. I'm just wondering if it's powered.
Like, if we can detect it, then chances are they can detect us, and I'm not sure if we want to.
So you're saying fly wide? I
I'm
can do
just
that.
saying we should probably give it a wide berth.
Okay. All right.
Approach on fire.
I'm just thinking it'd be smart if we knew what was there, but okay. Land. All right, let's break out the hover bikes and go.
Oh, know about hoverbikes?
We didn't bring hover bikes? Why did we land 5 miles out?
Remember, you can't carry all of your supplies, so Grist, all of those cool, like...
Oh, no. I
Tools.
know that. Actually, I can because of my harness, but I'm not going to.
Grist is carrying that only the essentials to survive.
The rivet gun.
Yeah.
Industrial strength hair dryer.
Rivet gun's great. I can't wait for you to nail someone to something.
All right. Yep.
So, everyone has their equipment, their food, and are ready to head out?
Yeah, so I mean, like, we just kind of got the general direction of it, so...
Essentially, you guys flew in, saw that it's north of you. You know, I mean, it looks like it has lights on, as there's clearly, like, blinking red lights. But whether that's regular power, big power. Jimothy, you did pick up that, hey, there's still an active generator going, so something is pumping out a base-worthy amount of power there.
Well, being from the harsh planet of Iridonia, Locke is a bit of a survivalist, so unless anybody else volunteers, then Locke will pick his way through the forest.
That's what you say as we get out?
No. I mean, I'm just walking out. I got my gear on.
Roll out of the ship.
Waiting on everybody to get their shit together. And then, I'll start walking.
It's clear. It's a field.
Yeah, man, it's fine.
There's a game trail over there that we came in off of.
That's where we're headed.
Okay.
All
right, lead on.
So, Locke, you're going to lead your team into the woods.
Okay, I'm going to do the obvious thing. There's got to be a shut the ship. I don't know that there's a fob for it, but beep, beep. There's got to be a way to shut it. Yep,
Yes,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, your ship
So
does
we don't come back and we have grazers all over the inside
Or worse,
of there.
or worse, like Jawa's taking it apart.
Jawas and their pet Gizax in
Yeah.
there, that ever-breeding frog.
Yep.
That's a harmful stereotype.
Guys, we wouldn't take it apart. We would sell it, and then take it apart, and then resell those parts.
We end up seeing Jimothy's room after the.
Yeah, it's already partly deconstructed.
Everyone else
It's like
is
an infestation where it just spreads throughout the whole ship.
everyone's adding like posters or like benches and shelves. Jimothy's like, yeah, this wall just doesn't go here. And you're like, what? And you're like, it would go a lot better on this bomb.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I need a survival check from Locke, as you were going to lead your team through the wilderness.
So if anybody that has higher willpower than 2 wants to help me, then feel free to
I'll assist.
to help me.
I got
navigate
willpower
this.
3.
Isn't
there we go.
survival cunning though?
Oh, cunning. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
it's the same deal. Sorry,
Never mind.
but, yep.
Cunning of 2.
I have 3 in cunning. I can.
Oh, there you go. Jawa's pretty cunning.
Yup.
Checks that box.
Nice. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for that correction.
So is everybody bringing weapons? I mean, are we going in
Yeah,
with
no,
the
I mean,
intention of resistance?
Just me and my walking stick.
What?
I'm just joking. It's a spear.
The vibro spear, it rotates. It's pretty much like a chainsaw spear.
We have to assume the worst, Grist.
Oh, okay. No. I got weapons. I was just making sure.
So, Locke, give me a difficulty 2, so that's 2 purples, survival check.
And,
Alright.
and Slim Jim's assisting.
So yeah, with
And
Jim's
That's
help,
cute.
Could you add...
Slim
No,
Jim, I
actually-
like that.
So let's see. So these both cancel, right? Okay. Oh, that no.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got a 2 threat, but a success.
Hey!
All right, so that threat puts strain on you if you'd like, or you can use it for other things. You know, could terrible things could come and go.
I got a little strain to spare, so I don't think I'm ready to. Call
This looks
on
like a very good plant. I'm sure if I touch it on my body, it will not break out in a rash.
Nothing terrible could
I've never been a
happen.
forest planet before. I don't
Yeah.
Right, that's Zabrak's like,
Yeah,
3
where's-
leaves?
Is your planet more like
know.
this?
No,
or-
my planet's arid and it's full of acid storms and acid seas.
Lovely.
mine is more like this, but I would say it's more like Endor than this. So
Mine's a desert, so.
Same.
Yeah, we're all from hot, arid environments. What is this greenery?
Strange stones.
Right,
very
exactly.
tall.
The good thing in this game is survival is survival. It doesn't seem to really matter.
right, no, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to.
Do you have Desert Dweller as well as a trait? Because my Twi'lek starts with Desert Dweller.
You know
cool.
what? I don't
That
think
did.
I do. I've
When
just
making
got,
skill checks, I remove any black dice imposed by hot or arid conditions, which is kind of cool. It hasn't come up, but it's something I have. Just
Well,
'cause-
so are you taking us along the trail?
no, I just have
The goat
clever
trail?
negotiator.
As far as
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll go along the trail as far as it takes us the direction we're headed.
Do you have your
yeah.
adversary?
No.
Is
Oh,
it a matter
yes.
of going through? I mean, are we taking the straightest trail, or are we following however these animals go?
Yeah, no, I think we should walk, the path of the animals to make as little disturbance as possible. But we shouldn't go too off course.
Do you think there's a much of a chance that we're going to have opposition? Like, you think they'll check the forest out? Do we? You know what? I didn't even think about this. Jimothy, do you have something where you could check to see if other people are talking, like communicator, like what we do, but listening in?
Ooh, wanna kaboom? No, I don't have anything like that.
Lock. That would be useful.
Just a comlink.
I just next time in, I think we should ask for one of those. I don't know what it would
I mean,
be.
I could try rigging something if, does mechanics help with that? Could I cobble together something with mechanics?
So you're trying to build pretty much like a scanner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
while we're walking through the forest.
Well, I mean, let me try to understand how you just. I'm assuming you have spare parts for things, for explosions.
Yeah, and
Jawa, of course.
I just walk up to their backpacks
That's
and
wild.
start running around in there. I mean, we're communal, right?
I mean, Jawa's
You
definitely
just assume.
Oh, we're walking. You're like climbing and looking at people's backpacks
Yeah.
and stuff. I love it.
and you're trying to build. Yeah, I would say
Thermal detonator looks at it twice, puts it back.
you guys have comms. Do you guys have any spare comms or data pads that you brought with you? I know one of you has like an Imperial data.
Yes, somebody
or
has a
first
data
order.
pad, but unless
Yeah.
somebody looks in their pack, somebody's not going to know that somebody has one.
That's why I'm
But if
looking
you
in
ask,
everybody's
right,
packs.
but if you ask for that, yeah, I'll. Hey, I got this.
Okay.
I mean, actually, it kind of did that when we were on the big asteroid. Here, I'm going to give Jimothy the remnant data pad. So I am marking it off, so you can mark it on.
Okay.
Remnant data pad.
Okay. Then yeah, I could see an impromptu one. Especially, do you have like jury rigging or anything like that? Any type of crafting skill?
No, I don't have any passive skill like that.
Okay. Are you willing to ask? Are you willing to ask Locke for assistance?
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Okay. Then, yeah, I could see this would be a difficulty 3 because you don't have your workshop. Grist, you still have your tools, your engineering tools and things like that.
Would I bring them on this? Yes, I would have brought them with me. It's not a huge tool case. It's, a small little 3 hydrospanners and a...
So I have jury rigging and tinkerer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes, because I'm the biggest.
So I was probably looking at the
You
wrong
might be the
person.
better person to do this.
Yeah. I'm handing everything.
But I could use the cunning. I mean, maybe I do the roll, you do the assist.
All right, sounds good.
So
I think that's the good
while we're looking at this, Locke and of course maybe Victus, I still had the bag of red sand crystals. Any idea what we could do with those?
I'm not too sure how.
This intelligence.
Do you guys know what they do? I mean,
Well, I
6
believe
didn't really explain it.
I believe red sand is a narcotic.
Yeah, I get that drug.
Well, as far as what it could do, I imagine its effects are somewhat euphoric and probably not immediate. I can't think of any immediate application of this.
Are you suggesting you'd rather just drug them than just shoot them?
No, I was just wondering what we could do with this stuff. I still have it.
Maybe
Could we sell it?
let's figure that out after the mission, maybe.
Okay, I was just passing the time. I mean, the 5-mile walk is going to be like 2 hours. It's going to take longer because you guys are building something.
As you guys are kind of performing impromptu construction, so you're pretty much like walking and you're like, hold this, like untini, as you're handing this, and then pretty much like pulling things from people's belts. You guys are kind of being a little loud. We're going to flip over one of those dark side destiny points.
Oh no!
As some of you feel like a presence, others hear the crackling of trees and branches, and you all hear the coming from the woods as you turn to your right, and that's where we'll call it.
Nice. Oh boy.
So what was the noise?
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Seekson Employees of the Month, David II, F, S, Michael H, and Michael P. And of course, our Breaker of Seals, Frank H, Christopher C, Matthew K, and The Lab, trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.